Vengeance on Varos is a curious entity in that it has some interesting ideas in it. Once again, Colin Baker's performance, I think, is fine, but it's just not very good. It's it's got a breakout character in Syl, who's obviously designed to look like exactly what he represents. He's just this scheming, parasitic worm who's corrupting the planet of Varos, for his interest in what at their expense and all this. And it's a commentary on how people are manipulated by their leadership and sold out behind closed doors and all that. And even when there's an honorable man possibly stepping up to the requirements of leadership and whatnot and what you're actually supposed to do, he's surrounded by snakes, and there's no winning. And all that's fine. It speaks to a truth we all know. But the execution here just falls apart. I don't have a problem with this business of you build a set that's really just one hallway and you go up and down it. And in this case, they're supposed to be in this underground bunker type thing, and it works fine a lot. It's brilliantly done, of course, in the best of all Genesis of the Dialects and all that sort of thing. But it has to be backed up by other shots that you have to establish things. They do show briefly, a model, obvious shot of the landscape of Varos and all that. But one of the things they keep referencing is the people's reaction to their leadership and how it's handled. So they have an interesting idea of their democracy is that the leader, the governor or president, I forget what the title he had, is that when he's going to make a big move, he's got to put it to a vote. And if he loses, then he gets tortured. So he sits in a chair, these shackles strap him in, and he's sitting there like, oh God, how's the vote going to go? And then he's bathed in this, I don't know, energy beam or what have you, that's just coursing his body through pain and all that. And it's just a matter of his own stamina if he can survive it. But so that's the deal, and he's trying to hold out in a deal with Syl's company on the sale of their resources here, which is some powerful fuel source and whatnot. As it happens, the Doctor needs some of it too. The TARDIS, blows a fuse. He manages to, just so happens to be within the vicinity of this planet, so he goes there and then walks in on this crazy society that they're in. But anyway, back to the point of the people's reaction. All you get is this married couple sitting in their crappy home with this television set that has the vote buttons on it. And they're so broken down that their entertainment is public executions and watching the ruler get tortured and stuff like that. And there's this Flash Gordon looking guy. He's supposed to get tormented and executed and whatnot. Of course, the Doctor frees him and stuff. But the thing of it is, I thought maybe they just didn't have the space, but it might have been better if they had like a bar or someplace like that where it's a group of people and they're discussing it, to give it more oomph that there's actual people involved instead of just a handful of cast members here that just for the purposes of the establishing shot of what that's about. And that's it. It just doesn't come across very well, and just exposes the cheapness. If you're on a cheap budget and whatnot, you got to figure out how to cover that up, lighting effects and whatnot. The actual hallways and everything that they're running up and down, it's not bad. It falls like the show starts out kind of okay. you got the back and forth, Perry and the doctor and all that stuff. They do all that, and then they get there, and they establish what the deal is pretty early on. And the right hand man of the governor is just, he's completely corrupt, and he's all on board with Seal's plan. He's bought off, and all that. And the guy's trying to hold out at risk to his life because they keep blasting him with the rays, because he keeps losing the vote. And it's also just how easy it is to manipulate the vote and all this stuff. And they want the deal to go through now and hurry up and get paid and whatnot, even though it's going to be at a great loss. And they just, he just can't seem to get it across to them, and all of that. And that's all fine, but by the time you get to the second episode, and already the cost cutting and everything, because these are extremely short seasons, and these 2-part stories and everything. But I guess it's just as well, because I don't think they could have done a 4-part serial here for this one, because what else were they going to do? And I mean, other times, one of the torments is they can make you hallucinate and see things and all this sort of stuff, and they go through all this crap way too long on a lot of this. And sometimes the doctor's falling for it, even though he's already figured out that it's not true, and then he figures it out. On and on. It fizzles. There's a big moment that Perry is captured and turned into a bird or something. And the other guy's girlfriend is turned into a Klingon. And then, you can reverse it. It doesn't matter. For all you know, maybe that was an illusion too. I don't know. But it's all very quick about something that could have been given more depth to, but they just, didn't have the time, I guess. I don't know. And maybe if she had stood up with the makeup on, it would have fallen off. Who knows? But it just all falls apart at the end. And there's scenes in there where the doctor disarms a guy and turns the gun on him and shoots the machine that's tormenting Perry, and all that. But the action scenes, the choreography for it are just terrible. It's like, if you're going to do that, you got to have somebody who knows how to do this and shoot it from the angle to where it has some amount of excitement to it. And it's just, the guy is barely even hit, and he felt, just. And then it was like an obvious thing about the creepy scientist who's wearing a mask all the time, and it's because you've been experimenting on yourself. What do you mean? And he pulls the mask off. Well, of course you knew the guy was scarred, and he doesn't even see it coming. It is, So the 2 earlier episodes get beat up a lot, but I mean, you got Seal. You got that. He's funny, and it's funny for him and the doctor, which is very brief here, for them to argue with one another and all that. But it's not enough. So to me, this is probably the worst one yet. And, they were stuck with what they had and everything, but And as far as like the James Bond line he gives to the guys who fall into the acid pool and all that, the people. This was an indication of the violence, and but it plays in to the personality that Colin's doctor has. Look, they were trying to kill him, so screw him, So the only other thing bad about that is he had the opportunity for his coat to fall into the acid pool, and that's what solved the problem. He's, damn, well, I'll have to get another one, it's a better coat. Oh, well, missed opportunity there. So anyway, I have no problem with Colin Baker's performance here. Perry was pretty and nice, but it still was funny. Like I said, it just wasn't enough to save the show. So not too crazy about Vengeance on Varos.